capacity, agency, and why your body isn't failing. Most people think their problem is pain. It's not. Pain is just the signal that something has already been exceeded. What's usually been exceeded is capacity. Capacity is the body's ability to absorb load, stress, effort, and demand without needing to tighten, brace, or protect. When capacity is intact, the body adapts quietly. You move, you recover, you continue. When capacity shrinks, the body doesn't collapse dramatically. It adapts defensively. You start avoiding positions. You move a little differently. You brace without noticing. Recovery takes longer. Things that used to feel easy now require attention. Nothing is broken enough for surgery. Nothing is bad enough to justify stopping. But nothing is actually resolving. That limbo is where most people live. Here's the mistake most people make. They keep adding inputs. More training, more stretching, more therapy, more effort, without restoring the system's ability to handle those inputs. They assume capacity grows through force. It doesn't. Capacity grows when load can be distributed without strain and without protection. That's why some people train more and get worse, why others rest endlessly, feel a little better, but never fully return to movement. Why people can still force themselves to move, but the body no longer wants to participate. This isn't a mindset issue. It isn't willpower. It is an age. So, the real question becomes, why does capacity shrink in the first place? Capacity doesn't shrink because the body suddenly became weak. It shrinks because the nervous system no longer trusts what it's working with. And when trust is lost, the system protects, even when it no longer needs to. This is where we have to talk about agency. Agency is the body's permission to move without excessive protection, hesitation, or supervision. When agency is intact, movement initiates naturally. Effort matches demand. Sensation informs instead of alarms. The body feels cooperative. When agency is lost, the nervous system becomes vigilant. Movement requires checking. Bracing appears before effort. Attention turns inward. Protection replaces adaptation. Here's something essential to understand. The nervous system doesn't primarily react to the body. It predicts. Before you move, it forecasts what might hurt, what feels unsafe, where support is needed. Those forecasts are built from past experience, injury, stress, repetition, emotional load. And over time, those forecasts can become outdated. That's why pain can persist long after tissue has healed. The body isn't responding to what is. It's responding to what it expects. Bracing isn't failure. Hesitation isn't weakness. Pain isn't malfunction. They're intelligent strategies based on old information. And this is the critical link. When agency is lost, capacity collapses because protection replaces adaptation. The body can no longer absorb load freely, so every demand feels heavier than it should. This is where bodywork actually matters. Not as a fix, not as a correction, not as something that forces change. Good bodywork provides new information, clear, relevant, non-threatening sensory input that the nervous system can trust. When that input lands properly, something subtle happens. The nervous system updates its understanding of the body. Areas that were being overprotected no longer require the same vigilance. Muscles stop bracing preemptively. Movement options quietly return. This isn't relaxation, it's reorientation. Adaptive bodywork doesn't add capacity directly. It restores agency. And when agency returns, capacity can rebuild naturally, without force. That's why pain relief happens without being chased. That's why movement feels easier without being trained. People rarely say, "I feel fixed." They say things like, "I'm not thinking about my body as much. I move before I second guess myself. I feel steadier. Things feel quieter." That quiet matters. It means the body is no longer on high alert. It means trust has returned. So, if you ask what the most important benefit of bodywork really is, it's not pain relief. It's not flexibility. It's not posture. It's this. Bodywork restores agency by updating the nervous system's understanding of the body. When agency is restored, capacity follows. And everything else, strength, mobility, resilience, performance, comes after that.